Well, this coming Wednesday, March 14th, 1 month after the Florida school massacre, thousands of students and teachers are planning to walk out of class at 10 a.m. and they'll do so for 17 minutes. This is in memory, of course, of the 17 people that were killed that day. They're calling on Congress to take action to prevent gun violence in schools and neighborhoods. And Lucy McBath is with us now. She's national spokeswoman for Every Town for Gun Safety, also running for Georgia's 6th congressional district. And her son, Jordan Davis, was shot and killed at a gas station in Florida by a man objecting to the loud music Jordan and his friends were playing in their car. So she has obviously a very personal experience with this. Tell me, first of all, what seeing things like this in the news, the Parkland shooting, what does that do to you as a mom who's experienced something similar?
Well, there again, we're dealing with, the extremist gun culture, and to see these children in Parkland being gunned down, just as the children at Sandy Hook were gunned down, there again, we're dealing with an issue and a crisis that has to be addressed. And now the fact that the students are standing up, they're fighting for their lives, they're marching for their lives. We need to be supporting them at every turn, and I'm very grateful to the students for really leading this. I call it the modern day civil rights movement. And I'm really encouraged by the fact that they are going to be the ones that really, I believe, are the catalyst for the change in this country.
People are listening to students, but I do want to play for you some sound from Florida Representative Elizabeth Porter as she was talking about gun control. Let's listen to this here.
We've been told that we need to listen to the children and do what the children ask. Are there any children on this floor? Are there any children making laws? Do we allow the children to tell us that we should pass a law that says no homework? Or you finish high school at the age of 12 just because they want it so? No. The adults make the laws because we have the age, we have the wisdom, and we have the experience to make these laws.
What's your reaction?
That's a tragedy. That is absolutely a tragedy. To turn away and try to silence the voices of the children is a tragedy. We need to be supporting them at every turn. When our legislators are not making sound decisions for the protection and the safety of children and teachers in our classrooms and citizens at large, that's a tragedy.
A lot of people say when it comes to gun legislation that this would be the beginning of abolishing the Second Amendment. Do you want to abolish the Second Amendment? Is that the end goal?
Absolutely not. I mean, myself and others like me, other activists, and the work that I do with Every Town for Gun Safety, we respect the Second Amendment. It's not about taking people's guns away. And there are lots of law-abiding gun owners and hunters and enthusiasts, and those are not the ones that we're after. But we have to understand, and even gun owners agree with us in this country, that we have an extremist gun culture that it's identified now. It has to be reckoned with. We have to enact safe gun laws that keep these kind of tragedies from happening again and again and again.
Let's listen here to one of the parents of Parkland school massacre victim. His daughter, Jamie, was killed. Let's listen here.
I ask you a question. If this was put out by a terrorist organization, we would be raising the terror threat level in this country. Why are we letting this lobby have anything to do in D.C.? I don't understand it.
I know on Twitter you take aim at the NRA itself. What do you want specifically to see happen? If you could sit down with somebody from the NRA, what would you most want them to know?
I want them to understand that their extremist agenda is causing more tragedy in this country. That, you are 25 times more likely to die in this nation than in any other developed nation in the world.
Do you think the NRA has the power to change that?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The gun owners that are part of the NRA gun lobby, they have the power to change this. They have the power to change the narrative. They have the power to change the rhetoric, but they do not choose to. The NRA leadership does not choose to because they are putting They're basically putting profit over public safety, and that's immoral.
And this obviously conversation will continue. Again, the walkout is the 14th. And what do you say to, we know that there are several schools, a couple in Georgia, in Houston and Ohio. Real quickly, what would you say to those schools who are saying if you walk on Wednesday, you will be suspended?
There again, I would say that you are infringing upon the rights of those children to speak up freely in peaceful protest for their lives.